When you think of monsters lurking in the waters, the image that forms in your head would be of monstrous creatures like the Kraken, pulling down ships into the dark, cold depths of the ocean. But do you know there are monsters lurking in the rivers too? Not all beasts are huge. Some come small, but deadly all the same. Here is a countdown of the 10 deadliest river monsters ever found. Number 10. Bull sharks. Shark and rivers are not two words that are commonly used together. It is a common belief that sharks belong to the oceans and seas, but there is an exception, the bull shark. This shark is the real bad boy of the shark world. Yeah, more deadly than the famous great white shark. They're like the Guy Fieri of the shark world. They'll take a bite out of anything with flavor. Bull sharks would go anywhere they can find food, as long as there is water to swim. And if they come across humans, it is likely they won't hesitate to take a bite. So beware of stepping into the water if you happen to be in Australia. This ferocious fish can grow to a length of 7 to 11 feet and weigh as much as 500 pounds, so tackling one in an encounter would not be in the human's favor. Number 9. Vampire fish. The vampire fish is also known as the payara, which is not to be mistaken for their infamous cousins, the piranha. These fish look mean, and they don't mess around. Just like the piranha, they are also native to the Amazon River. You definitely don't want any part of your body in this fish's mouth, because it has extremely sharp pointy teeth and 2 are overgrown. Looking like the fangs of a vampire, they make Dracula's fangs look like baby teeth. The horrifying fangs of the vampire fish are not just for show. They're designed to skewer any unfortunate fish or small mammal that crosses its path. This fish also has an aggressive temperament and would devour its prey unceremoniously. The payara also have a unique way of hunting. They can jump out of the water to catch prey like some kind of freshwater ninja. But hey, let's not forget the good news. These fish are also delicious. In fact, they're so tasty that they're considered a delicacy in South America. So maybe an encounter with this vampire is one to look forward to. Number 8. Freshwater stingray. In 2022, a monstrous creature was caught in Cambodia's Mekong River. It took about 12 people to haul this beast out of the water. It was a giant freshwater stingray. At the end of the day, a world record was confirmed. This was officially the largest freshwater fish ever found. It weighed 661 pounds, was 7.7 feet wide, and was 13 feet long. What makes this even more fascinating is this fish can continue to grow as long as it has food to eat and is safe. So it is very possible we have bigger giants out there yet to be discovered. An encounter with this goofy-looking monster is very unlikely because they prefer staying at the bottom of the river where they search for fish, mussels, and other shellfish. But don't let their goofy appearance fool you. These stingrays are serious business. They're armed with a stinger that can inflict serious damage on anything that threatens them, from predators to unsuspecting swimmers. The freshwater stingray can be found in many other rivers besides the Mekong. They also prowl the waters of the Amazon. In fact, the freshwater stingray is so good at defending itself that it's become something of a local legend in the Amazon. Some say that if you mess with a stingray, you'll end up with a hole in your foot the size of a grapefruit. Number 7. Green anaconda. This is the largest snake in the world. They are so large that they stay in the water most of the time just to support their massive weight, because of which they find it difficult to move around on land. Green anacondas are like giant tubes of muscle. They make other snakes look like spaghetti noodles. In 2016, at the construction of a dam in Brazil, construction workers got the shock of their lives when a giant anaconda emerged after a controlled explosion that was taking place on the site. The serpent monster measured a mind-blowing 33 feet in length and weighed a whopping 880 pounds. This is the largest snake on record till the making of this video. We can only imagine that there are bigger ones lurking in the waters of the Amazon. Of course, if you're a small animal or a clumsy human, you might want to stay out of the anaconda's way. These snakes are some of the best hunters in the Amazon, and they won't hesitate to take down anything that looks like a tasty snack. They are built to kill and would do this by crushing their prey until they are unable to breathe, before proceeding to swallow the unfortunate animal whole. Green anacondas can conveniently put us on their menu, but it seems they don't fancy humans. Number 6. Goliath Tigerfish. The Goliath tigerfish is a ferocious and toothy apex predator of the Congo River, with an average length of 5 feet and a weight of 100 pounds. What makes them fearsome is not the size of their body, but their humongous teeth. The mouth of this creature is lined with dagger-like teeth that can grow over 1 inch, and boy do they know how to use their tools. The tigerfish feeds on any fish and would rip them apart before swallowing the chunks. Catching one of these monsters is not for the faint-hearted because they would put up a good fight. That is besides the bigger risk of losing a couple of fingers if it should manage to get a hold of you. Number 5. Nile Crocodile. The Nile crocodile makes the previous creatures seem like cuddly pets. This reptile is a true beast by every definition. They're huge, they're aggressive, and they would not hesitate to hunt humans. The Nile croc does not care about the size or strength of any animal that comes to its dwelling. There are lots of videos showing these fearless creatures attacking lions, elephants, and hippos. This croc can reach 20 feet in length and weigh 500 pounds. There is only one reptile bigger than the Nile crocodile, and we will get to that later in this video. In 1905, a Nile crocodile 21 feet long was shot in Tanzania, and it weighed an astounding 2,300 pounds. Number 4. Alligator Snapping Turtle. Surely you did not expect a turtle to make it into this video, but the alligator snapping turtle has the personality of a grumpy alligator more than that of a turtle. The males are usually the larger ones and can weigh over 240 pounds. Instead of teeth, they have a beak backed with considerable bite power. But despite their grumpy demeanor, alligator snapping turtles are actually pretty fascinating creatures. They're one of the largest freshwater turtles in the world, and they can live for over 100 years. That means they've been around longer than your great-great-grandparents, and they've got the wrinkles to prove it. Number 3. Hippopotamus. Hippos are arguably the meanest animals. They don't like making friends. These rotund beasts are also responsible for most human deaths by any big game in Africa. They are notorious for chasing after boats and capsizing them, which is no problem for the hippos considering they can weigh as much as 10,000 pounds. That is about the weight of a Jeep. They're like giant beach balls with bad attitudes, and don't even think about trying to outrun one. They can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour on land, which is a speed even Usain Bolt cannot surpass. Number 2. Candiru. The candiru is a small Amazonian fish, so small it is nicknamed the toothpick fish. Don't be fooled by its small size, because this fish is really dangerous. It is horrifying enough to know that they are bloodsuckers, but it is even more terrifying that their primary target is to lodge themselves into the genitalia of anyone swimming in their habitat. The candiru is attracted to urea, a compound that can be found in urine. There are reports of them swimming up into the human urethra, even up the hole of the male organ. Unfortunately, they can only go in and can only be removed by surgery. Number 1. Saltwater crocodile. Don't be fooled by the name. Saltwater crocodiles are perfectly at home even in rivers. These crocs are like the ultimate killing machines of the animal kingdom. They're big, they're powerful, and they're always on the lookout for their next meal. They're like prehistoric monsters that have somehow managed to survive into the modern day. And don't even think about trying to outrun one. They can swim at speeds of up to 15 miles per hour and launch themselves out of the water like a missile. Salties are the largest reptiles in the world, with some individuals growing up to 23 feet long and weighing over a ton, though a 28-foot-long salty has been sighted. Their jaws are like hydraulic machines capable of exerting over 3,000 pounds of force with a single bite. But here's the thing. Despite their reputation for being dangerous, saltwater crocodiles are also an important part of the marine ecosystem. They help to control the populations of other animals, and their presence is a sign of a healthy and thriving habitat. Which of these river monsters would terrify you the most if you were unlucky enough to encounter one on a fishing trip?